It was always the plan to do this amount of seasons.
Into the vortex.
Because it's a role that demands a lot of you physically and emotionally and mentally. The actors playing the Doctor are only actors playing the Doctor. Unfortunately, we are mere mortals. I would love to have the energy and the youth to be able to do this full time for the rest of my life, but my knees are telling me it's time. It's felt lovely, the final couple of weeks. It's felt like the right timing and the right energy, and yeah, it's felt melancholic and bittersweet. It's a magical role that will demand a lot from you, but if you give a lot to it, it will give you a lot back. It was a real pleasure and honor.
Good afternoon, everyone. We've been joined by a face familiar to all of us, of course, Jodie Whittaker, everybody!
I'm like an excited child. I feel so hyperactive, and I feel completely in my skin because I've got my costume on and it still fits, thank God. You've redecorated. I don't like it. Does it really need to be bigger? And everything just feels at home, but wonderfully different as well. Like, you are in someone else's TARDIS and you're in someone else's environment in the presence of the Doctor. You know, it's all a bit timey-wimey. Is that still a thing?
Going strong.
To be a part of a regen, literally together, is so special, because I didn't get to do it with David and I didn't get to do it with Peter either. It's all done in the magic of television.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Welcome to the Time Hotel. If you'd like to come with me, sir.
I've got to say, thank you, Stephen Moffat, for the creation of Anita and the Time Hotel. I always had that balcony ending falling to the Doctor's death in mind for years. And I was always thinking, how does he get out of that?
Anita!
Hello, Doctor.
Oh!
But then Stephen comes along and invents a character who has magic doors with a magic key. And I was like, well, that is the simplest solution.
And action.
I've just seen a Dalek, an actual Dalek. I thought it was just archive footage. I didn't know I was actually going to see a Dalek until today. So I am full of joy.
Okay, so one of the greatest things ever is to work with a Dalek. Russell had written, Anita opens the door and finds herself seeing John Pertwee in the Day of the Daleks from 1973. So we have a little flashback, and I said, well, can we maybe have a Dalek in the foreground to tie it all together? And everyone said yes.
I'm so chuffed. Steph is actually chuffed. There's a real person in the Dalek, Simon. It's amazing.
That's it. That's my one experience with a Dalek, but it's a childhood dream come true.
Yeah.
9999996999655.
The Seekers are mysterious creatures. The Rani actually has a tradition in the old days of having kind of slaves and servants. So these are kind of creatures in thrall to her. And they're at work.
Action.
997776.
They looked like extraterrestrial, creepy opticians, but I really like their fashion.
And that's going to be next year's Halloween costume because it is just spectacular. My favourite part is their fingers are covered in latex.
So holding this position for quite a long time can be quite tiring on the arms. It's quite an interesting little feel, actually, because the board that we've got our fingers all plugged into does look really, really cool. Like, we are sort of dipping our fingers into oil. It does look amazing.
Excellent. Seek and ye shall find.
The process of getting all of this put on is about 2.5 hours, I'd say, just for the prosthetics itself. And then we've got costume, which is another half an hour to get into this thing.
The headpiece for the Seekers, and it's based on the opticians for Opters, and yeah, we sort of took that sort of concept and tried to make it a bit more alien and sort of a bit more of a real feel to it. A lot of 3D printing went into it, yeah, concept designs. The reason we chose to do that is to keep it lightweight. It's going to be on the performer's head all day, so we just chose to 3D print the whole thing.
It's really cool when it moves.
Today's the final day. And yeah, it's going to be really sad when it's over because it's been such a fun experience, but definitely something I'd like to do again, I think.
If we die here today, I love you lot.
Just shut up and go!
It was very fun to shoot. I felt like the Green Goblin. And it looks epic and incredible. Flying through a bone beast skeleton, whereas actually I'm just in a green room. Hopped on a gizmo that was controlled by a man called Phil. That sat to my right. And it was cool, one of those like action hero-y moments.
I summon you, creator of the Time Lord.
I needed something to be the ultimate experiment for the Rani. She's very much more of an old-school Time Lord and missing the Time Lord. As the ultimate experiment for breaking open the world and finding out what's underneath, that story just naturally turned to the legacy of Doctor Who, which is the oldest and greatest Time Lord of all, is Omega.
Omega, creator of the Time Lords. Now, how to bring him home.
The arrival of Omega is one of the greatest stories ever. A creature held together only by will. He's been banished, he's been exiled, he's been in a different dimension, and that willpower has now turned insane.
I will become the god of time, with Time Lords to feast upon.
Well, we have to get the scale of it right. Once you've worked out the scale, it means that we have to stick with that, which means we have to use the camera angles and the lenses we've already agreed, so that when it's all put together, yes, he will appear 30 foot tall. I really wanted a big surprise. So there's the Omega looming over everyone. Archie's character, the Rani, thinks she's going to best him with her sonic screwdriver, and just very suddenly he grabs her. And we have a very practical thing to do. We've got to grab an actor, we've got to hoist her up in the air. Very, very difficult to do with an actor because she's not a stunt performer.
I think the first time they put me on the wires, I was a little bit, oh my God, what's happening? And then I was like flying. It was amazing.
Travelling, spinning and rising.
We arrived at the idea that actually he's going to lower her like an olive into his mouth and then just drop her in. Which you always want to see when you're going to get rid of a villain. You want to see that look of realisation that, oh my God, I'm going to die. And Archie was absolutely up for it.
We're on set today and it's Varida's last day. I love her spirit. I love ending her journey showing why she had a reason all that time for wanting to get home, which she didn't even know herself. She's been gorgeous, and just to be on set with Varida every day has been lovely.
Because that was the point. All this time, I had to be here, in this house, at 7:30 a.m. on the 24th of May. Remember?
Never mind, Miami. Poppy's waiting for me. I can't wait for you to meet Poppy.
The whole time, Belinda's just wanted to get back home, but not get back home to Poppy, for Poppy.
Oh!
Isn't she beautiful?
The best. How could I forget?
Once you're with your baby, it's like you're not gonna get back in the TARDIS, and you can't take your baby with you because you're putting her in harm's way. So it's quite sad, but it's also like a totally fulfilling, natural way to end for her as a mother. It's, you know, this is your adventure. This is life. This is more than life.
Well, we know he's human by birth. We just don't know where in time and space he's from.
Oh.
Do we?
He's a foundling, just like me.
Like me?
Ruby's journey has been waiting for this. It's like when you come full circle at the end of the episode, there she is with another member of her family. She started out looking for her own family, and now there they are, fostering, and well, adopting yet another child, Ruby's brother, so she's no longer alone in the world.
Joseph was my late husband's name.
Joe Sunday.
Joe Sunday.
I think Ruby's chilling with her band. You know, she needs to get back on that keyboard. I think she's cracking on with her two mums and a nan. She needs to spend more time with them. And she might have a job at UNIT. Who knows? Everyone does, so may as well be there as well.
Her name is Poppy, and she's lost somewhere out there.
Doctor, one life has disappeared.
And you know this can happen. You know this better than anyone because it's happened before.
It happened to me.
It's all part of the journey that you've seen with the Lucky Day episode of Ruby becoming more independent, freeing up Ruby to be her own woman, to lead her own stories. And the glorious thing about this story is that you get to the finale is that she's the only person who knows what's going on because she went through the events of 73 yards. I love this. I think it's like Ruby's waited her time and now kind of flowers into this power because she's the only one who knows.
One person is missing. Time has shifted by 1 degree. By the tiniest little degree. There is no technology in the universe that can change that. There is only one thing that is strong enough to change reality 1 tiny degree.
Which is what?
The last of the Time Lords.
It's a great, big, super spectacular regeneration. It draws every single plot together. Almost every element of his life comes to play. Belinda's there, Ruby's there, Unit is there, so everything comes to a climax.
Just feels so natural for the way that Russell's written it, and it all has flowed together so perfectly.
Oh man, I like this face.
You've been hearing the beats of the console for 60 years, and 2 of those were my TARDIS's ones. You're joining a legacy that will live on forever. It's nothing short of an honor. It feels amazing to be a part of that canon.
But let's be honest, I was the best.
It was only in my sort of final scenes here in the walkway towards the TARDIS door. And just before that take, I spent a beat just looking at the console. And then all the images of consoles prior, in all the TARDISes prior, were flashing in my mind. Wow, this was... what a moment, and what a job, and what a role. It was beautiful to do.
And cut. Perfect.
The casting crew here have been amazing. It's been an amazing time with casting crew. I've been very blessed to work with 2 incredibly talented actors, Millie and V, and they are dear friends and will stay my friends for a long time. It was magical to go on this adventure with them. They are so talented and so beautiful and so clever, and it was, we kept each other laughing all the time.
He is inherently such a special person, and I think he really brings that sparkle to the Doctor, which, the Doctor is just the sparkliest of people in the world. I think that's what they're going to remember. They're going to remember that energy. They're going to remember that sort of live wire kind of, there's nothing he can't do.
There are no words. There are no words. I have no words for this experience, but just thank you, everyone.
He's been an incredible Doctor, and he's an incredible person, an incredible actor. His energy will be missed. I know that for a fact. I'll miss spending every day with him.
Thank you, Whovians, for everything. All the love that you pour into the show itself is what makes it, is what has kept it alive for 60 years. I thank you so much for embracing me with all the warmth and love that you did. I won't forget that at all. The way that I was held by the Whovians. And so just all the love in the world. Maybe see you again. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.